Good morning to both of you. Thanks for your time this morning. Just first off, Brittany, I mean, traumatic for children to see a parent put in handcuffs and taken away. How are they doing in the aftermath of all this?
They're doing okay.
But I imagine a very emotional week for all of you. Set the scene for us on that day. Why was your son walking alone, and is that something that's normal for your kids and other kids in town?
It is normal for kids to be walking around Mineral Bluff. It's a four-way stop, very low traffic. And my kids often will play out in our woods. We have a lot of acres, and so they do walk around our neighborhood. He just decided he wanted to go to the Dollar General that day, and it's, not uncommon for kids to do. So I don't understand why there's been such a uproar about it, I guess.
Yeah. I understand you were at a doctor's appointment with one of your older children when you got the call from authorities, and then hours later, I mean, here's the video. Sheriff's Department sent it to us last night. You're put in handcuffs. What was going through your mind when you were being put in handcuffs in this moment, Brittany?
I was shocked. I was angry, frustrated, probably all those things at once, but mostly I was just trying to be calm for my kids because I didn't want them to worry.
Mm-hmm. David, we reached out to that Sheriff's Department last night. They sent us this video, but they said they're not going to comment on this case right now. What has Brittany been charged with, and are you now suing the authorities that are involved here?
Well, we're not suing them yet. She has formally been charged with reckless conduct. What's interesting is when the deputy arrested her, as the body cam shows, Brittany asked, "What am I being arrested for?" And the deputy says, "Reckless endangerment." Well, there is no such law in Georgia. Secondly, in 1997, the Georgia Supreme Court held that statute unconstitutional when applied to parents because it doesn't tell them what is and isn't permissible and constitutes reckless conduct. So it's really problematic for those two reasons. I found it very interesting, and your viewers should. The deputy, Britt, asked, "Well, he's 10. Can he walk into town?" And that's not illegal. And the deputy responds, and the audio here would say, "Yes, it's illegal for a 10-year-old to walk into town." And it clearly is not. So it's that kind of authoritarian, my judgment rules your judgment as a parent, and the notion that it's not safe. I've said before, if you don't think it's safe for people to walk on the shoulder of the road, and by the way, much of the road there is a sidewalk, well, put up a sign that says no pedestrians allowed. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, when I first heard this story, I grew up in Ada, Oklahoma, and I mean, we walked all over, all the time. So this has caught the attention of a lot of people across the country. Brittany, I understand that authorities have offered to drop the charges if you sign a form that outlines a safety plan, you delegate a safety person to be with your kids at all times when you're not present, and you say no to that. Why?
Well, first of all, because there's been no guarantee that they will actually drop the charges. All that was relayed to me, and this was not directly from the DA, is that they might, or that's probably what would happen. And so, it's really hard for me to agree to anything when there's no guarantee of what's going to happen. And also, by signing that safety plan, I feel like I'm agreeing that my home and that my parenting choices are not safe, and I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, David, what do you say about that plan that they've offered her?
Well, first of all,
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Oh, I was just asking David kind of what his thoughts on that deal are.
It's labeled or titled safety plan, but it doesn't make this child or in any situation more safe. It just says she will download a GPS app to his phone with somebody watching her do it and will monitor him. That doesn't make it more safe. He is wherever he is. If you have a teenager in a car and you have a device in the car, you know where they are, but you're not controlling whether they're more or less safe. So it's a misnomer. It's a pretend, hey, we're going to make the child safer and you're going to sign this. But what it does too is it lets authorities say, you've agreed to this. Now, if you violate this, we've got you for violating the safety plan. Yeah. So it's a setup.
Brittany, just a few seconds left. Your GoFundMe has now surpassed $40,000. I mean, what does it feel like getting this kind of support from other parents across the country?
It feels really good to know that there's other parents that are like-minded and, want to allow their children some freedom to be kids and to explore and grow up like we did, like you said. It gives me the strength to just keep doing this and know that I'm doing it for all parents.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.